Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, you particularly know that this my YouTube channel is an educational one. I try to bring you good content in order for you to have good feedbacks. And so, in what I'm about to discuss is why relationships are failing. So, so many relationships are failing because the two partners don't usually agree with one another. They feel so big in order for them to apologize and even like tell themselves that okay, particularly I'm wrong in this aspect and I need your help with this particular aspect. So they just go ahead in like taking pride in not apologizing. So most times some of those relationships actually fail because they don't usually take those particular measures. I know another reason is not actually putting God in your affairs. God is very, very vital. We're Africans, we are black, so definitely we have we have to always put God as the number one. As humans, it's very, very important to put God in your affairs because once you don't put God in your affairs, there are so many evil things which you don't see in the physical, which are particularly in the spiritual, that can come and affect you and your partner's relationships. I see marriage as a very, very sacred thing. It's something that is so in depth that once you don't particularly have a faith in a particular supreme being, it actually causes its own kind of chaos. So, our advice in order for you not to make your marriage fail, put God as number one and try and believe in yourself that particularly your marriage can work out the way you actually want it. People don't actually want to listen to one another. In not listening to one another, everybody shouts, you shout, the man shout, the woman shout. At the end of the day, there is no coherent relationship. The two will never agree with one another. There is argument, and one thing about argument, which everybody usually don't understand, is there is no winner and there is no loser. At the end of the day, it creates certain emotions that will last and spark for a very, very long time. So our advice, once you realize such kind of thing, it's better to keep silent or you just walk away from the situations. So it's very, very vital. I have experience too as someone who is actually coming up. I'm not really a professional. I know some people who are 70 years in marriage and the rest, but with the younger ones, most times when we've seen it a little, at least we've seen it already. So by God's grace, I'm 3 years in my marriage already. I have a lovely child. So at least I have a certain experience or a bit of experience. I know some people will be like, you need to like spend a very long time, 5 years and the rest. But God's willing, everybody has the way they want their relationships to be. So um, in order to have perfect marriage, one needs to understand that there are guidelines. There are guidelines. Before a relationship could work, and how to make a relationship work is taking your matter by your own hands. You understanding that in order to solve a bigger problem, you will need to be the bigger boss. You, the man, or you, the woman, will need to take charge and be the bigger boss. In the sense that you will need to try your best in order to like understand your likes and your dislikes, your partner's shortcomings. Because once you don't seem to understand all those aspects, there could be certain problems that could result in your marriage that you particularly can't solve. If you take your problems, like you having problems, and then presenting it in the presence of your children, there could be certain problems that are going to arise, and your children might go to school having those kind of thoughts in their minds, and then they don't actually pass, they don't really give their best or really give their all while in class. They always think of their father and mother's problems. So it's advisable because problems are bound to happen, problems are bound to come, but how to manage those kind of problems is the best. So I'm not a marriage counselor or somebody who I feel is one of the super person to actually give you an advice, but at least with this little advice of mine, I believe one or two talks that I've actually been able to give will actually help someone out there. Thank you.